So today I want to talk about like not pursuing happiness, which I think it's actually more of like a benefit than what people realize, and I wanted to like clarify myself on how what I mean by that. I feel like a lot of days if you're like on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, and talking to friends in general, you'll see how people are like happy with their lives and like they'll talk most people will talk about the good stuff. No one usually goes on to these things and just be's a Debbie Downer and just talks about the bad stuff. They want to talk about the good stuff, especially on like Twitter, for example. But the problem with that is when you see all that stuff, you compare yourself to something that's like a moment, something that's not like a very consistent thing that's happening constantly. I don't think there's many people in life where they're just like living nonstop highs. Maybe unless you're rich or something, but even then, there's probably going to be like a few lows. Like I assume like running businesses and stuff like is stressful as hell. I don't even want to imagine that. Something I think about is, especially if you're depressed, like I feel like I've been depressed for years, and to give it like I guess an example, I have almost taken my life probably twice. Please don't use that against me. Um, YouTube also don't cancel the video because I said that. That would really suck. But I feel like when you're depressed and you're trying to chase happiness, all things, you kind of get like frustrated. You get upset that you cannot get this happiness. And I don't think the key to fixing that is trying to be happy. Honestly, I think it's more so just trying not to be sad and like content what is happening around you. Enjoying the moment more than just thinking, oh, if I was in this relationship, I'd be happy. Oh, if I was hanging out with this, whatever, yada yada. If my job was better, just be like, damn, everything ain't so bad. I'm laughing with my friends right now. You're not thinking about like these dumb things while you're in, like, let's say you're just not thinking about these dumb things. You're playing games with your friends. You're just enjoying that moment. You're not thinking about like, oh man, I could be happier like that. You're just in the moment. And it's just, I think it's just especially nicer. Sorry if I'm a little all over the place, but it's just like hard to explain this. And I think a lot of depressed people will lives will get a bit better if they just stop trying to be happy and just try to not be sad. The other thing that people don't think about when it comes to happiness with other people, it's a variable. Like, especially in relationship and friendships, you can't control that. There's nothing you can do about that. Like, for all that person could be insane. You could be the insane person. I don't fucking know. Stress from their job could lead up. They could be beaten as a kid. You could be beaten as a kid. Who fucking knows? Like the world is weird. They could be poor. They could be rich. There's so many things going on, and they might be finding their current love of the life. And you know, you might like them, but you know that's unlucky timing. Happiness with other people is not guaranteed. So you shouldn't like hinge yourself on that. I feel like you're setting yourself for potential failure if you do that. Now, I also don't want to like be the guy to just be like, hey, don't be happy whatsoever. But I feel like you should focus on, well, this is more of a mainstream thing. Focus on yourself, like things that you enjoy. And I especially hope you'll find people who will flock around you, gather around because they're like, oh my gosh, this person likes this video game. Maybe I also like that video game. I'll go talk to that person. And things will just kind of work themselves out. Plus, wouldn't you rather be with people who are more like real, relatable in that kind of way than someone who's like faking it to make it? I rather be that. That's what I usually try nowadays. I try to just enjoy myself as much as possible, and if someone comes along for the journey, it's just better. Instead of just being like, man, I can get anyone to do what I want. And sometimes that mindset does come in. Most of the time when it doesn't, I feel like I'm just like 10 times more enjoying the moment. I had a moment recently where like I wasn't in the time when this happened, I felt like I was more content with everything going around. I was just kind of doing my own thing. I wasn't happy for sure, but I wasn't really sad. People kept telling me how I've like given up and I'm like not trying anymore, but I don't really see it that way. I feel like they're like pushing like how I should live, but like sure I'm not happy, but like it's not like I'm like depressed curled up. Would you rather me being depressed over not being happy? And it's not like I'm not trying to make my life better. It's just I'm doing it in small steps at my pace. And my pace is a lot slower than a lot of people. I have a lot of baggage and I'm slowly dealing with it. And there's some things that like I might not ever deal with, but like, you know, I'm doing what I can. So, nothing wrong with that. But I had this moment recently where I had the first chance to finally once again like reconnect with someone, and it was actually nice. Like I could finally like I talked to them a bit. found out I had a lot in common, and we were gonna hang out and try some stuff. I got back into working out a bit because of them, which was pretty nice. Because part of the reason I didn't want to like for the thing, it was rock climbing, and the reason I stopped is because I got my brother into it, and the reason why it kind of annoyed me so much is because when I first talked about it, I asked my brother before I started getting the thing. I didn't want to get into it by myself, so I was like, "Hey man, I'll pay for everything. You just have to give me a ride, and let's just go for a month and see if we like it." And he said, "Yeah." And I paid for all these things. He went once, we actually enjoyed it, and he never went again. And it just kind of like bummed me out to the point where like I didn't even want to go by myself anymore. So it kind of wasted a lot of money. Like I think $140 because I had to buy the equipment and I had to buy the chalk. So and I also had to buy a chalk bag. So that shit adds up really fast. But now due to the other person coming in, I had more motivation to try it again. But I kind of disconnected with the person again because they were, how do I say this? It's like when you ask someone to like hang out, they cancel. I'm like, okay. So I reach out again. I'm like, hey, you canceled this one time. You want to go again? And they said, sure. They canceled again. But to me, if someone cancels on you and they don't try to like make a new time to hang out with you, in my opinion, that person doesn't have any interest and you should put your resources somewhere else. That might be a little judgmental and I understand, but it's just like, I don't want to really deal with that. Also, it's like, I kind of like the male humiliation meme that's kind of going around. It kind of feels like it in a way because it's like, I'm putting all my effort out here to try to hang out with you. And I feel like I feel like a fool that I'm trying to hang out with someone who's not trying to hang out. But like, if I don't do anything, then nothing's going to get better. I want a friend to hang out with. I want to meet someone cool. I want to open these opportunities and maybe we can do more cool stuff in the future, but I'm getting constantly shut down and it's making me feel bad. And the reason why I think this is part of the pursuit of the happiness at this time, this actually made me really happy that I had someone to hang out with. I had someone to talk to who lived in my area and stuff like that. I don't got many people like that, but it's just like after a certain point, I realized after getting shut down like that, I didn't want to like reach out as much anymore. Sorry, it's hard to talk a little bit. I think I got sick. Sorry about that. But it felt like I got really sad because it's like, wow, I finally found someone and I kind of like, I cared what they were thinking about me a little bit because I wanted to be friends with them. Nothing more serious than that, but it's just like, it kind of feels bad. Like, did I do something wrong? And all these emotions were resurfacing and I would just prefer to kind of go back to that. Like, I'm not trying to be happy, but I'm not trying to be sad. I'm kind of like a little numbness in the middle where I kind of just didn't care as much and it didn't really bother me what happened. It was just more like life is being life and it's like, who cares? Now I'm kind of falling back into the state where I'm just like, I'm not reaching out anymore because I kind of like, I get the impression that they don't want to hang out, so I'm just doing my own thing again. And honestly, now I'm rock climbing by myself. I'm enjoying my free time. I wish I could be hanging out with someone? Yeah, of course I do. I want more people to talk to about the things I'm interested in, but I currently just don't have those people. So it's like, I'm happy I can enjoy the things I'm doing, but I am slowly overcoming the sadness of not having the people I enjoy doing them with. But so far, people have been nice to me while I'm there, so it's not the worst thing ever. But yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts with that. If you're also depressed and you're struggling to be happy and all that, my personal advice is like, just don't try too hard to be happy. Do what you enjoy the moment more. Also, get off fucking Twitter. Like, holy shit, that shit is like fucking like cancer to your brain. Also, I'm sorry if this is all over the place. I think it's a mixture of me being sick, but also my allergies are flaring back up because spring is starting again. So I need to figure out what I'm supposed to do about that. So like whenever I go like breathe in, it feels like a bunch of like sandpaper on the back of my throat, and there's just not much I can really do about it. But that's just life. But yeah, if you, yeah, that's it. Peace.